Hello and welcome to Five Chicks in a Bottle. We have with us here Michelle, Lindsay, Deanna, and Allison. Hello, my name is Lynn, and I'm going to be hosting this forum today, and it's going to be on something I'm so excited to talk to you guys about. It's CBD. Are you guys all geeked about it? Are we all excited to learn about CBD? I know. As we know, CBD is all over the place. You can get it at the corner store, at the gas station, at the fruit market. It's everywhere. There's always a sign out somewhere saying CBD for sale here. We're going to help you out on that and why you don't want to be doing that and why we've got a superior product for you because of its purity. So first of all, I'm going to give you just a little bit background of the CBD. I'm not going to get too sciencey. I am putting, if you are on our team, if one of us signed you up for your starter kit and you are on our Oily Love team, then you are in our Oily Love private Facebook group. So in there, I'm going to be uploading this incredible short video by Dr. Ali Winker. It's called The Science of CBD, and it will explain further sciencey things. I'm going to keep this a little bit low level so that we could just get through it so we can get to everybody's testimonies and tricks and things they use their CBD for. But let's first start off with what is CBD and what is this cannabis plant, and am I going to get high on my CBD oil? So the thing is the cannabis plant is made is the hemp plant. And only for legal purposes are we going to be talking about two different versions of it. There's two different genes or species of this cannabis plant, this hemp plant. One's marijuana, and one we're going to just call the hemp plant because that's how legally they classify it. Marijuana, that is a cannabis plant that has high levels of THC, and that's that psychoactive ingredient that's in that gives you the high and that slows down your motor functions and all that other stuff. High in THC and low in CBD. But legally, they can sell hemp as cannabidiol, as CBD, because it is very high in CBD and very low in THC. So that is why in just the last couple of years that it's become legal. Actually, I think 2018 or something, it became a very legal substance to use. And so now we know the difference between the marijuana and CBD. So we're going to get rid of the marijuana for a minute, and we're going to talk about the CBD. And the CBD oil is even broken down further. And stay with me on this because this is very important right here. There is the full spectrum CBD oil, CBD isolate, and then there is the SMART Spectrum CBD. So let's start with the full spectrum. So that is the entire plant, the hemp plant, okay? The hemp plant that we're talking about as opposed to the marijuana plant looks very different. It's real tall and light leafed, where the marijuana plant is dense and it's got a lot of leaves on it. So you'll see these big tall plants. And so the full spectrum is that it's going to take every bit when you get that full spectrum CBD oil, it's going to have every bit of that plant, which is awesome. But you're going to be getting your terpenes that every plant has. Every plant has terpenes, which is its aromatic essence, which is its medicinal purposes, which is everything good about that plant that for the human body. It's got a little bit of THC in it still. 0.3%, but it's also, this plant also is put into nature to filter out soils and the waters, right? So it's got its roots, and it's sucking up all this stuff and acting as a filter, which is what its purpose is also, this plant. So it's sucking up good stuff, but also, depending on where it's grown, it's sucking up chemicals, pesticides, heavy metals. So it's getting all that other stuff in it as well. So that's a full spectrum. And so a lot of people like that because they like all the good stuff in it. They just, they're going to take the bad stuff with it. Well, there's also the CBD isolate, and that's like how it sounds. It's isolated CBD. So when they produced it, they took all that stuff out, all of it, and all you get is the CBD in its purest form. So there's no THC, there's no terpenes, and there's no heavy metals and pesticides. So that's okay, but really the CBD works synergistically. It's a plant and it needs those terpenes, right? So where, ladies, do we get the terpenes from? The essential oils, all right? So we get the essential oils, the plants they contain the terpenes, and that's why we love these essential oils, because we're getting the elements of that oil. So we actually, Young Living has acquired what's called Nature's Ultra. Nature's Ultra is a CBD company that has a lot of farms out in Colorado, so it's U.S. based, and they acquired it because they have the same seed to seal promise that Young Living has. They are pure. They're pesticide free. They have very clean soil, and so they have that same seed to seal promise. So Young Living acquired them, and now you can get this, which is called the SMART Spectrum CBD. It's the isolate with essential oils. They work synergistically to give us everything we need to balance our body out. That is the shortened version, if you can believe it, of CBD. There's so much more I want to tell you, but I want these ladies to just have a ball telling you about all the CBD products. So Michelle, it looks like you're smiling away. Tell me, what you do with your CBD?
I feel bad going first because mine is about the beauty serum, but I will tell you that the other products are just amazing as well that the girls are going to talk to you about today. But I'm going to start out, kick this off, and talk about the brand new CBD beauty serum. And this is the CBD oil, and it's mixed with rose. So that rose oil that's so expensive and high frequency is added to this. And when I was watching the video on how to use this, the girls kept calling it luxurious. And I just was chuckling about the word, like it just seems so bougie, right? Oh, this is luxurious and this is going to be so wonderful. And I thought, okay, but I'm aging, right? I'm in that category of aging, and I want to do something good for my skin, especially my face, and I'm fighting the wrinkle train. So I bought it, and I have to say, you guys, it is luxurious. Like, I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh, they were right. It's totally luxurious. So I
got mine. I love it.
So you shake it up really well, okay? And then the way that you use this is when you, I don't know, when you first get out of the shower, you first wash your face, you usually have, I don't know if you're doing part of the Bloom face care program or whatever you're doing, but this should go on before your moisturizer. So I'm doing part of the Bloom skincare. And so I use the Bloom Essence when I get out of the shower. I shake it up and I put some in the palm of my hand with some Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood, okay? I really like the way that feels on my skin. And Mary Young says it's amazing for wrinkles, so I use it because her skin is she looks like she's 50 or younger. So I put that on, and then I shake this up. I put a couple drops in my hand, and then I rub it into my skin, and then I let that set for a little bit, and then I put on my moisturizer. You guys, my skin, it's glowing. It is, I love this stuff. I have some dry skin around my nose because it's the cold winter months right now, and it really helps with that. I'm going to just read some of the things that it says in the product guide, which is that it helps reduce the appearance of redness, fine lines, wrinkles. It helps calm and soothe your skin. Again, that when you're in the dry winter months or even the sunny months where you might have some sunburn. Moisturizes the skin, boosts the natural glow, which it really truly does. And as we're aging, we want our skin to be dewy looking and moist looking, and this really helps with that, okay? It's great for all skin types. Again, it doesn't have any THC, has all of the awesome seed to seal rules that, so this has none of the chemicals. It's all formulated without toxins. I really think you're going to like it. And they say to put it here on your chest too. Is it décolletage? How do you say it?
Yeah, that sounds good. I think you got it right. Décolletage.
Yeah, on your chest here.
Décolletage.
It also get wrinkly as you get older. So I love it. It is luxurious, and it is the proper adjective for this. It is amazing.
Love it. I love it. I purchased it too. And I used to put that Mira hair serum on my face I always told you guys about. Now I've got this beauty, and it's thicker, and it's beautiful. Yeah. Anybody else?
I would love to get my hands on that beauty serum. I feel like that needs to be on my next ER order. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about the citrus CBD oil that is available. Again, because there's no THC in it, my experience with it was postpartum. So It has the citrus oils, which is a bright, invigorating oil or oils. There's multiple citrus oils in this oil or CBD oil. But I used it a lot for energizing postpartum. I would, rub it on in the mornings, but also just like mood boosting because you're kind of going through a little bit of that funk postpartum. So it definitely helped carry me through and support me in those immediate postpartum days.
Nice, nice.
And so you applied it topically, or did you ever use it sublingually, or?
I never did. I always just used it topically.
I never knew. I always thought you had to do it sublingually. I never even until Will used it for all over, his joints and stuff. He loves it. And he would rub it on his ankles and his hands. And I thought you were just supposed to ingest it. I thought you were just supposed to put it underneath your tongue. So do you use yours underneath the tongue, Michelle?
Yeah, I use mine for sleep support, and I do take it sublingually before bed. So I was just wondering if Lindsay had ever taken it like that. And it does come, like she mentioned, in the citrus, but it also comes in a cinnamon flavor as well as a mint. So it's kind of mint. Because whatever you prefer is what you can, select. And the mint is really nice topically because it gives you that refreshing feeling, especially.
It's real good for the muscles and the joint aches, the mint, for sure. Yeah, thanks, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I am going to go next, and I am going to talk about the Calm Roller, the CBD Calm Roller. Oh, if it wasn't upside down.
There it is.
So I use the Calm Roller. I use the 300 milligram Calm Roller. I can't speak to the 600 milligram. I can only speak to the 300 milligram because that's the only experience I've had. But we don't need the 600 because we use the 300 and it works just fine. And so we use it in a very different way. So Lindsay uses her CBD postpartum. I'm using my CBD on what came out of the postpartum. Okay? So I like to call it my tantrum tamer. We use it for tantrums a lot. And so and we also use it to unwind before bed. So the way that I use it on my 2 little kids and myself as well is it's a roller top, right? So it's a roller. I take and I put it right behind my ears, right there. Same thing for my kids. And then for myself, I even put it down my neck or on the back of my neck, something like that. I don't know, I know there are other parents out there who struggle with bedtime. And so this particular wonderment, it's like some sort of like magic in a bottle. I'm not even kidding to you. So we use it, like I said, we use it for tantrums and we use it for calming, for bedtime. It really just helps support that sort of calm, centered type feeling that you get. I feel like I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. I used to diffuse a lot before I went to bed, but then my husband wanted to use a fan while we were sleeping. And so it kind of like defeated the purpose of me diffusing. So I was getting really frustrated because I needed to find something else to help me like calm down before I went to bed. So I am so happy that they came out with the Calm Roller. We travel with it a lot. Like I said, I had an experience with my now 4-year-old when I first actually got my hands on this. It was probably one of the first couple times that I used it on him. He was, it was like his head was spinning around his body. You guys know, those with children, those with nieces and nephews, you get it. You've seen it happen and you're like, how does such a small body, how does that happen on such a small little person? So his head is spinning around his body. He is screaming, losing his mind. And so I am all up in his business, just putting it right in there and all up on him. And we sat in his room and we work on some breathing techniques and stuff like that. And he, after a couple minutes, I asked him, I said, what, you seem a lot different. What happened? He said, I didn't feel right. I didn't feel good. But now I feel good. Now I feel really good. So, that's a testament from a 4-year-old. So, and we love it. We love it for tantrums and before going to bed.
Can I talk on that? I hate to, one more sciencey thing, and then Deanna, you can bring it home. But because, you know what, and people are worried, if anyone's worried about kids, really, our bodies have an endocannabinoid system. Okay, it wasn't discovered until 1992, which totally floors me, because that's like almost, you guys were babies, right? Most of you were just babies when they first discovered it. 1992, come on, Allison, yes, you were. So, right? So what it does, I mean, we have these receptors. So the CBD is like a key in a lock. Your body has these receptors. Your CBD, we even have it within our bodies. There's an endocannabinoid, which means our body creates it as well. But this plant has got these receptors on it we have receptors that accept that CBD, and that puts our body into a state of balance. So that's why, like, it's not harmful to children. It's a plant. There is, like I said, no THC in it whatsoever. So you put little Nicholas right into a state of balance, because that's where his body really wants to be. We all want to be in balance. So that's awesome.
Actually learning about that, and when CBD first came out, that was one of the things that I thought, okay, this is a natural occurring constituent in my body and in the body of my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old. So for me, I felt a lot, knowing the science behind it, which I am not a sciencey type of person where I don't thrive in that area, but knowing the science behind the why helped me as a parent feel more comfortable using something that may otherwise be, each parent, everyone makes their own decisions. And so for me, this is the decision that we've made for our family, and, to each their own. But for us, it's working out great. And also, like I said, knowing that science behind it gave me a better comfort level of knowing that whatever I was putting on my child, you don't want to do any harm, was only going to support him. And so I appreciate you sharing that, because that was really what sort of made me, it all sort of clicked together for me.
Mm-hmm. It's God's gift to us, people.
Well, and what I think is cool is, just to continue with the 0 THC, is each batch of the CBD, whether it's the rub, the roller, or the droppers, comes with a lot number that you can actually go online and look up the lot number, and to confirm that the particular batch you have in your hands is 0% THC. They do not sell or distribute anything higher than, or anything other than 0. So when I first heard that this product was coming out in a starter kit with all 3, the dropper, the roller, and the rub, I thought, and the first phone call I made was to my parents, who were in a car accident and struggling with healing, and some broken bones and some strained muscles and stuff, and just the backing that Nature's Ultra and Young Living has on making such a good quality product was very, very appealing, and made me feel like Allison feels good putting it on her children. I felt good referring the kit to my parents. And the CBD muscle rub is probably the product they use the most. They do layer all 3 on their really achy and sore spots, but as they were going through physical therapy before and after session, this really came in helpful and handy to them to loosen up those muscles, so they could have a great session, and then aid in some of the rest and the healing that they needed to go through after physical therapy. So
That's awesome.
It's been a lifesaver for them.
Great. Good information, people. I hope that this helps you all out there, because there's a lot unknowns to CBD, and we want to make sure that you've got the best information, the best product out there for your wellness. So again, if you have any questions, you can go to that seed2seal.com, and that will explain a little bit more what we mean when we say seed to seal. But think about it, seed to seal. It's taken from the time they soil to the seed all the way up to it's sealed in that bottle. It's taken care of in-house. So that read up on that, please. If any of you are interested in learning more about this, or if you aren't working with anybody and you'd like to be part of our Oily Love team, we'd love to have you. All you have to do is go to 5chicksinaBottle.com, at gmail.com, 5chicksinaBottle@gmail.com, and we'll get a hold of you and we can get you set up with your CBD kit. Ladies, it's been enjoyable, and we'll see you all for the next one.